Hello, Guion here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. It's going to be an unboxing video. I have no idea how this will go, or if it'll be of anyone's interest, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. I've simply, whenever I get a new product, I'm going to try and do a video of my experience, my first impressions, how the product looks, how it works, etc. Just to, see how it goes. So what we're going to do is get straight into it, and about 10 minutes ago this came in, which is the new Hornby six-wheel coach. It's what they're calling their generic coaches. So in this case we've got a six-wheel coach, which is in the maroon-ish livery. It's supposed to be a BR liveried six-wheel coach. This is a third class brake, and its number is E31185E, and this has lights fitted in it. I thought if I was going to get one, I'll get one of the new lights and see how those work. Be interesting to know what it's like. I bought just this single coach. The idea is it's going to be part of a small train for a micro layout I'm building. The idea being that this will have, it'll probably be a loco, this, and maybe a wagon, and that would be it. For workmen coming into a yard or something along those lines, I'm not too sure. But I thought I'd get one anyway, just to have a look and see what they're like. So let's just get straight into it and pop it open. Put that aside for a second and just have a look at the accessories that just fell out there. So there's a bag here with accessories. I mean, I say accessories, it's one single item. It's the, I think what they call the running boards. And these are, they give you the option of fitting these to the carriage. They would be fitted along the bottom here. And the idea is that in the earlier days of railways, the platforms were lower, and people would mount and dismount the coaches with this bit of like a step to get up into the carriage. So yeah, they're nice. Gives you some flexibility on what you want to do there. If you want to have something that's a bit older style or newer. And then we've also got this little piece of paper here. This seems to just be some instructions. So we've got here 4 and 6 wheel coaches, some information on the interior lights, and as we said, the step board fitting, how to fit the step boards at the base if you wish to do that. So some information to actuate the lights. Move the supplied magnet along just above the top of the roof. This action will trigger a reed switch and illuminate the lights. Moving the magnet across the roof again will switch the lights off. And on the other side here, we've got a battery replacement. So the idea is that you would be able to pop the carriage body off the chassis and get access to this coin-cell battery for an easy replacement. They say that these batteries should last about 200 hours running time on them. So you won't be switching these out very often, hopefully. But yeah, okay, we'll have a look at that, because we're going to actually take this carriage apart and have a little look at the goings on inside. So without that, we'll get the carriage itself, pull the plastic off, and you can see at the top here we've actually got a magnet. It's housed in a piece of plastic with Hornby silk screened on the top. So we are. Oh, it's actually got some good weight to it, actually. It's a nice heavy little coach. I tell you what, that looks quite nice now it's out of the box. There's some nice little details here. You've got these pieces on the side. They're all separately fitted. To be honest, I don't know the technical terms for a lot of what's going on here. There's these, I think they're vents or something on the top. You've got a grab rail here and a grab rail on the back. They're all separately fitted. We've got a hose here. The lamp irons aren't separately fitted. They're just part of the moulding, as well as these steps going up the back of the carriage. Okay, So from what I've read and what other people have said about these, it looks like they're heavily based on the Stroudley coaches from the southern region. And looking at the back of this carriage, I would be inclined to agree with that. This ducting style on the rear of the brake is very much to the style of these southern coaches. Which is nice. That if you do Southern Region and you buy the Southern Region versions, they're going to look relatively typical to the original coaches. We look at the bottom here. You can see this tab here. This is for the battery, so we'll pull that out in a moment. And we've got the 6 wheels here. This one in the middle has more play. That's for the tighter radius track that people might be using on their layouts. And what's interesting is actually that all of these wheels are held in place by the axles, the centres of the axles, rather than the ends. With a lot of coaches and wagons, you would find that the axle boxes would be holding these wheels in place. And I'm not sure how that will do for friction, because that's got a larger surface area. So that might hinder performance a little bit. They seem to spin okay, but yeah, I can hear a bit more drag going on there. That probably doesn't help a lot, having them like that, but it might be easier to work with. I don't know how easy it'll be to replace the wheels if you ever needed to. That mounting mechanism might be tricky. I'm not going to look into it too much at the moment. But let's pull this tab out then and get the lights working. So yeah, I'll pull it out. It's very much like those cheap toys you'd buy with the tab to pull out, so you could get the power to it, or a scale or something like that. So that should be active in there now. So I'm guessing we take the magnet, and as the instructions said, we just place it over the roof, and apparently the lights should come on. I did see it flicker. Oh, there we go. So lights are on. And if I bring the magnet up again, it's not turning off. There we are, it's off. Let me just have a quick look at the instructions again. Move the supplied magnet along the roof, just above the top of the roof. Is it maybe the location? Maybe it's near the middle I need to go. I think I can see the reed switch through the side of the window just, and I think it is over here. And it seems that every time I run the magnet across, it flickers a little bit before turning on. I'll get it to flicker. There, it's on. Let's just try. It doesn't seem to. Let's get it closer. Ah, there we go. It's turned off. So maybe it's. That's on. I'm not entirely sure if I'm doing this right. Let's see if I can just tilt it up so you can see it. There we are. It's off and it's on. Seems to be working fine now. There we go. I think the motion of the magnet is what's causing it to turn on and off, rather than the magnet being present. Yeah, it seems that if I move the magnet from one direction across it, it triggers the lights more reliably. Let's just try and get it closer. There we go. There it's off, on, off, on. Yeah, there we are. So the idea is that you basically bring the magnet across the roof like that to turn it on and turn it off. Let's turn it back on again, just so we can. Oh, let's try that. There we go. They're back on now. Yeah, they seem to be quite good, quite bright. I can see the seats and everything inside illuminated, as well as this brake handle in the back of the guards compartment. Doesn't seem to be much in the way of light bleed. It seems to be quite well, quite well made, so the carriage isn't bleeding any light from anywhere it shouldn't. They are just coming through the windows, which is quite nice. What I might do is just turn this side light off for a second, so you may be able to see it a little better. Does that work? Let's turn the other one off as well. There we go. So you can see the lights on in there. I'm not sure how well it is. Maybe I'll get some B-roll up. I mean, now I've got the lights off, I can see a bit more light bleed. I can see, I don't know how well it's going to pick up on the camera, but I can see the seats, the outline of the seats along the side of the carriage body. The back seems to be okay. And again, on this side, I can see this outline going along. So if that's a problem, my solution to that would be to paint the inside of the carriage, just so that the light gets absorbed by the black paint and doesn't bleed through. I mean, that's probably why we're not seeing it come out the ends, because of this black coat of paint. The plastic sides here, these probably haven't been painted. They're probably just the colour of the plastic, and that's why we're seeing the light come through it. So I think that's pretty much everything from the outside of the carriage. Let's have a look inside the carriage. First, I'm going to just turn this light off. So there we go. Yeah, it seems that the stroking action seems to be the easiest way to turn it on and off. And they said that to remove the body, I just need to grab it and pull it like that, it seems. So let's try that way. I feel like I'm going to break it, because it says here, gently ease the body away from the chassis. Actually, it does say above it, remove the body by carefully inserting a fingernail or something similar between the lower edge of the body and the chassis where illustrated. But oh well, that seemed to be relatively easy. I just a light push on the side. I'll just close that up again, light push, and it separated. It was really easy to separate. So there you are. And yeah, I can feel a lot of the weight is actually in the base here. There's the interior, so it separates. There's a pair of wires holding the battery base to the top part. Let's put that down for a second. So looking at this, there's some nice detail. The chair, the seating's all painted. We can see this raised piece here on this particular one because of the battery being held underneath. But they got some floorboards in the guards compartment, and you've got that handbrake. So it's adequately detailed, I think, for a carriage that's going to have lights inside it. That's not a bad little carriage. Let's have a look inside the carriage itself. Just careful with those wires. You can see 5 LEDs in the top of the carriage there on a PCB, and I can just see the reed switch there. Doesn't seem the magnets, the screws don't seem to be magnetic, actually. Fortunately, I have got one of my grabbers here. So I'll just grab that. There we go. Remove the screw. There we go. So that's out. It seems to be still kind of stuck in there. No way to easily pull it out. I mean, it's not supposed to be removed, to be honest. So let's see if I can grab it with my little tool here. Oh, there we go. I managed to release that end. See if I can just... There we go. Oh, and in the action of doing that, I've managed to turn it on somehow. Maybe I've vibrated the reed switch there to make the connection. I think the reed switch, I was looking up when I first heard about Hornby's new lighting switch with using the magnet. I was a little confused because reed switches don't normally latch. The idea is that when a magnet is present, they close, and when it's removed, it opens. So I couldn't see that to be some sort of permanent switch. And I have seen basic kits that people have done online as kind of DIY kits for coach lighting where they've used a reed switch. They actually say on the instructions that you have to keep the magnet on the carriage to keep the switch active. If you remove the magnet, it turns the lights off. So I'm not entirely sure how they're managing to make it work exactly here. It might be something to do with the components that are on the top. I can see there's a bunch of resistors. There's a couple of ICs here. I'm not quite sure what they are. Could be transistors or anything, but if I bring the magnet over, yeah, I seem to be switching it on and off again, moving the magnet across seems to maybe turn them on off. I can't seem to make it work again. One thing I'm noticing as I'm bringing the magnet up to it, I am feeling a slight force from the board pushing against me, so there might be some magnetic component within this as well that's affecting it, because it's been repelled by this rather than attracted, so there must be a magnet pushing against me. I'm not entirely sure how that's working. We'll get some close-up photos of this as well for you to have a closer look at, but let's have a closer look myself. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on there without really having a good study of it, but I can see here the text on the side says PCB-6-2, so I'm assuming that's probably like the model number or something. I mean, 6 maybe something to do with it being a 6-wheel coach. I absolutely have no idea there really. I do see underneath it says FR4 equals 1mm, so FR4 is the material type. It's what PCBs are made of, is like a fiberglass based piece of 1mm. Yeah, it's about 1mm thick, and I think underneath that then is like a production date silk screen there, so it says 2020-07-06, so we can assume it's probably year, month, day, which would probably make it the 6th of July 2020. So if that's the case, these were made actually quite a while ago, which indicates that it's been a while in the making. This product, I would think, time it takes for tooling and everything. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put this back together now, and we'll have a little look further at the carriage and then make some sort of conclusion. I'll do speed through this bit. You don't really need to see me put it all back together, so I'll be back in one moment. So there we are, back together as one piece. Yeah, okay. The lighting's a bit of a letdown, if I'm honest. I find it quite difficult to really make out how it's supposed to work. But maybe, again, I'm being stupid or something. But it doesn't seem to be as straightforward as what people have shown in the videos. Let me just get some track here. I'm just going to see how smoothly it runs with those wheels being mounted the way they are. It seems to roll alright. I mean, it does seem to have a bit of friction though. I would feel a bit more resistance with this than other carriages I've done in the past of this size. It's not too bad. It's fine. I think you're not going to have a problem pulling this carriage behind 2 or 3 of these carriages behind a small 060 040 loco. It'll work perfectly fine for it. Maybe even on an incline. As long as it's not too steep, I would guess. But yeah, it's a nice coach. It's a very nice model. It's something that we haven't had in ready to run ever, as far as I'm aware. Everything has been kit built otherwise. So I'm at least happy that this is a thing that's accessible to people for ready to run, rather than just being a kit built only option. And with the Genesis coaches coming up in the future, I haven't really mentioned them until now. It'd be interesting to see how they compare to these carriages. I know that their design of the coach is a bit more generic than these. I've seen a couple of videos of the carriages online, but until I have them in hand, I can't really draw that many conclusions. But I will be getting sets in both for GWR liveried coaches for both the Hornby and the Hattons when they become available. I'll be getting the GWR set from Hornby, which has the 3 Great Western carriages along with Portishead. So that's a nice little set I'll have there. And then I'll have the 4 Genesis coach set as well, when that becomes available, hopefully at some point later this year. But other than that, I'm relatively pleased with it. I paid what was it, £32.49 from Kernow Model Rail Centre, not quite sure. I'm sorry if I've got that wrong. Yeah, it's a good offering. I think the retail price is something like £35.99 or £36, which is a little steep for a carriage, I guess, of this size. But I mean, that's the light fitted one. It's £6 cheaper, £29.99 for an unlit coach, or a little bit less depending on where you get it from when it comes to retailers. But it's a nice little coach. I'm pleased with it. It'll be a nice little addition to my collection, and I'll have a lot of fun running this on my micro layout whenever I get around to actually building and finishing it. Hopefully we'll see a bit of that in a future video. But I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you thought of this slightly different style of video. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.